when you have relationship problems, the truth is you don't really want to talk to your buddies about it. You might be, oh, hey, I'm having a relationship problem with my wife. I mean, don't get me wrong. Your friends or buddies, they have the best intention, but sometimes they're not qualified to give you the advice.
Yeah, it's very true when you were saying about not only that your wife makes you happy, but also that you only spend a lot of time communicating and you learn how to listen.
Yes.
And that's really important in business. It's not all about yourself per se, it's about the client as well. It's really important.
The truth is, it's all about the client.
It's
What we do, I mean, it's entrepreneur. What we do is we always say we solve people's problems at a profit.
Yeah,
it's all about the marketplace, fulfilling a need in the marketplace. Usually, entrepreneurs fail because they focus on themselves. What do I love to do? Here's my idea, it's my baby. I'm not gonna change anything. It's what I want to do. Versus, hey, what does the marketplace want?
Yeah.
It's all about the marketplace. We are nothing more than a creator. We create solutions to solve people's problems. And the more you listen to the marketplace, the more you understand the marketplace. How much money you make is always determined by how well you understand the marketplace.
Mm-hmm.
So the more you understand, the more you listen, then the more clients you have, the easier it is to communicate your value and to sell them, right? Versus most entrepreneurs struggle because they don't listen. They listen to themselves. They don't listen to others, right?
Yeah. And that's sometimes as well, like I remember you were telling me a story about your wife regarding about you making a decision and you went against her and things fell apart. That's like our ego and our pride. And then when we realize that maybe if your wife has woman instincts,
yes,
where she's capable of doing something that I don't have as a man.
Yeah. Nowadays, I bring her to almost all my business meetings. Anybody, I'll bring her along, and sometimes she doesn't say a lot. She just sits there and listens. But afterwards, I always ask her, "Hey, what do you think of the person we just met?" And she would say, "Well, I think she's like this or he's like that." And nowadays, she's like my, what is it, like a detector, right? That she's almost, I would say, not 100%, but almost 99% accurate. 99, her instinct, her intuition, 99% accurate. So now I just let her make the decisions. I say, you know what? Should I do business with this person? She said yes. And she say no. He says no. I don't do it. It makes my job a lot easier. I just do my thing, and she's like a detective right now. Yeah, it makes my life a lot easier. It's a lot easier. It's great.
No, it is great. And I like that story very much because it teaches men in general and as well in women in general to work together and not divide the difference. Because a lot of people say, well, you think like this, therefore it doesn't make any logical sense. And men are driven by logic and women are driven by feeling base, right? So
and I think we have to know that your partner, your spouse want what's best for you.
Yeah.
So they're not going to say something that's bad for you. So if knowing that that's their intention, they might not communicate it properly, but knowing that's their intention, then you're like, and they might not say the way you like to hear it, but knowing the intention is they want to help you. They want what's best for you. Then you're like, you know what? You're right. Let's put my ego aside and say, hey, I think let's not work with that person.
So what makes a successful relationship in your point of view as an entrepreneur and as for yourself and as overall, what does that look like in a long run? Because I know you've been in a long-term relationship before getting married and stuff like that.
I think communication. I think it all boils down to, which is what you teach. I think it's all communication. Which is very interesting if you think about it. Entrepreneur, if we want to sell more, we'll go get sales training, right? You want to do more, better marketing, go get marketing training. We need to learn how to read numbers. Well, let's go get some accounting training. But somehow in relationships, our relationships are not working out. No, I'll figure this on my own. I won't share this with anybody. I know it's very personal, but I think there's also so much knowledge out there that you could learn from, people you learn from, experts like yourself, they could hire, that someone they could talk to. You gotta treat it like that. It's not just something, you can't just figure it out because you don't know what you don't know.
Yeah.
So I think getting help, don't wait till it gets like really, really bad. Maybe you're getting a divorce already and then you get help. No, let's get some help. You'll work on your health, get a personal trainer, get a nutritionist. You have professionals help you. I think relationship is the same way, that you don't try to figure out stuff on your own. Learn to communicate. Learn those skills of communication and relationship. There are patterns. There are like techniques. There are personality types. Like learn those. Why wouldn't, like, let's say, imagine if this is the most important part of your life, and we can agree on that. Relationship is the most important part of your life.
Yeah.
And why would you not spend a little bit of time learning and mastering this most important area and get some knowledge and get some help so you could have that successful life, but also have that successful relationship.
Yeah.
Makes your whole life successful. I think it's because of that. My whole life, I think I'm a good coach because I'm also coachable. I'm a great student. Yeah. I'm always learning. I'm always listening, asking questions. And like, I want to learn. I want to learn from other people. Not like, just because I'm successful in one area, doesn't mean I'm successful in another area. So I'm successful at this, but in this area, I'm a student. Let's learn. Let's improve myself. And then to communicate. I just found that the more time and effort I invest in the relationship aspect, that my relationship improves. And that's awesome. Like, why would you not do it? It makes no sense.
Yeah.
Like, why would you not do it, right?
Yeah, and it's very true. Not a lot of people invest that, and maybe there is not enough resources. I don't know, from your experience as a male entrepreneur and other males entrepreneur, do people really have those conversations openly as well, not only all about business? And it seems like, men want to do good, to feel good, but if they're really hurting in their relationship, is there a support team out there or anything like that? Do they voice that, especially in business as an entrepreneur, as male entrepreneur? I know female entrepreneur, we discuss about things like that.
I think they don't, but they should. That, when you have relationship problem, this is just coming from a guy. When you have relationship problems, the truth is you don't really want to talk to your buddies about it. You might be, hey, I'm having relationship problem with my wife. I mean, don't get me wrong. Your friends or buddies, they have the best intention, but sometimes they're not qualified to give you the advice. They don't know what the hell they're doing either. So it's like bad advice, just getting circulated, right? And just drink another beer, forget about it, man. It's not like that, right? So if you actually have relationship problems, you go to someone like yourself, get professional help. You got to get professional help, or read a book or something, to learn a little bit more about it. So I know they don't. Most of them don't, which is wrong, I think. You should get help if you need help. You can't solve it. Think, you're the one that's like Albert Einstein said, right? You can't solve the same problem with the same mind that created it. Well, you created this mess, let's face it. This relationship mess, you created it. Well, how can you solve it on your own? It makes no sense. So being open and say, hey, I don't have all the answers. Let's get some help. Nothing wrong with that. I mean, if you are it's not that it's not manly. In fact, it's the other way. It's very manly to say, admit, I don't have all the answers. I need some help. Let me talk to somebody. And yeah, your buddies and all that, they're not the best people to go to. Trust me, I did it. It's not the right thing.
And it's really interesting that you said that clearly about, not getting advice from your friend and get a professional advice, because your friends will just brush it off or give you the wrong advice, or it's just their personal reflection of their own relationship or their
Correct.
parents' relationship.
Correct.
So they don't advance further on because they're stuck in this pattern or cycle that the friend might not know or not aware of it.
Yeah.
And they need that professional help. And yes, I do love supporting that in my program. I teach that in my program. I make that very clear.
Yeah.
And having an unbiased opinion is more important. But definitely, if you ever, like as an entrepreneur, how you were saying, there needs to be more support in that area.
Yeah.
Just telling your buddy, like, if they are having problems, to go and see professional help, and don't make it look like you're a weak person, because you grow from it. Because you make,
because if you are, it only makes, if you feel weak, it means you're insecure. If you're truly secure with yourself, then it's not weak. It's not a sign of weakness. It's a sign of strength. And say, you know, I'm going to fix this. I'm going to face the truth like a man, face the truth and say, hey, you can't bury yourself. Trust me, I tried. You can't just bury yourself in work and not ignore the problem. It doesn't work that way. You got to be, you know, I got to pay some attention to this. That you got to tell the truth. It starts with telling the truth. That my relationship, maybe it's okay, maybe it's good, but it's not where I want it to be. Like it's here, but I kind of wanted to get to here. Well, how do I get there? Right? And just get some help. Yeah. It's easy to ask for help. It's easy not to ask for help. By having a third party objective, like the expert advice. Also, because as an expert, then you're not too close to the client. You're coming from a third party. You're looking at from, you know, you don't know them for many years. You just say, hey, here's the problem, and you can just give them the advice that they need. Versus their friends, like our friends. And the truth is, you can't tell everything to your friends anyway. It's very difficult when, you've known them for 10 years. Now you're like telling them all the shit that's going on in your life. To friends, and you can't share with everything with your friends. That's one thing. And it's very difficult to be open. And even you try to be open, you might omit some information because there's certain things you don't want to share. And your friends, sometimes they would, if they want to feel good and they, don't worry, man. Hey, Bob, don't worry. It'll work itself out. It won't work itself out, first of all. But they're like, don't worry. Just, hey, relax. Just do all that stuff. Versus someone is telling you, hey, you know what? This is getting serious. If you don't fix this, you might end up losing your partner. You might end up getting divorced. Or it's just going to be some horrible consequences. Now, if you think of it that way, then, oh my goodness, right? So the good thing about this is this. Most men have no clue. You know that. They have no clue. Even if you just get a little bit better, your relationship would improve a lot. You don't need to be, like, we're not trying to be like a relationship expert, but just know a little bit more than most men, like your relationship rocks, right? It's easy. That's what I've learned. I don't know a lot, but I know enough that it works, right?
It's very true when you were clearly stating that, because, I have a certain lesson that in my program that I teach, that men are very strong exterior and interior, they're very soft, or they're very sensitive.
Yes.
Especially I call them alpha men. And as well for women, it's completely opposite. So women are more petite, they're smaller, but inside they're strong. They're very strong. And because they have a lot long pain tolerance, so they can get like nails done, they can get waxing done. If you wax men, they cry.
Oh, they cry. It's just like if woman. I totally agree. Like women give birth. I don't think men can do it.
And the whole point of that is the way that we communicate with each other makes a difference, especially if you're an entrepreneur or like really leader driven or a champion in your area or an expert in your area. I think that comes off a really strong leader, and how we communicate with each other makes it very transparent between the partner. But someone who's already, soft inside and it's very strong inside, honestly, they can take it a little bit, and in the sense of not a negative way, they can actually tolerate certain aspects.
Yeah, and another thing I've learned is sometimes it could be man or woman, like whoever is kind of quote unquote bring home the money. Let's say my wife works from home, stays at home, taking care of the family. I'm out there. That's the one that's quote unquote bringing in the money. One mistake that I made at first, I thought, oh, because I am bringing in the money, then I should have more say. That I should, you should listen to me more. I should have more. Just choose everything about home, whatever the options are. I should have more power in the relationship.
Yeah,
that's very wrong. That's very wrong, because it's just a role that you play. So I'm bringing the money, but she's also taking care of the home. It's not because you're bringing the money, then you're more important. It shouldn't be like that. It's not very healthy. I learned that through my own just observation experience. Then I learned that, hey, just because I'm bringing the money, just because I have the skill to bring in the money, but it doesn't mean, oh, I have more power in a relationship, and I'm the master and you're the slave. It's not like that at all. It's both important roles, because if she's not managing the home, she's not taking care of the family, so it frees up my mind to go and work and bring in the money. I can't do that. Like, there are things she's doing that it's absolutely necessary. So it's like a company. You have your manager, you have your salesperson, you have the janitor. They're all important. They all play their roles. It's not just, oh, the CEO is the most important. The CEO is important, but so is the person who's a lower entry person, just as important. And I truly believe in that. So in a relationship, not just whoever, even the woman bringing the money, it doesn't matter. Don't let that affect the relationship.
Yeah.
I think I learned that important lesson.
What made you shift?
Just when it doesn't work, right? When it doesn't work, I self-reflect and say, okay, this is not working. Like, clearly it's creating conflict. So maybe it's the way I communicate, maybe it's my belief system. So I need a shift. So after that, and again, as I said, I'm very self-aware. And then when it doesn't work, I go into study mode, right? Now I'll read a lot of books on relationship. Well, how does man and woman communicate? Well, what am I doing wrong? Am I not saying the right thing? So after I learn enough of that, and I can pick it up. One thing about me is I'm a fast learner.
Yeah.
I'm a very fast learner. So after I learned that, and I changed my approach, I changed my belief, suddenly less conflict, no conflict. Wow, okay, this is good. Let me keep doing it, right?
Yeah.
And because of that, and it's not overnight. It's bit by bit, bit by bit. Keep tweaking it. And then at this point, I think it's so far is the best that we have. Doesn't mean we can't get better, but it's the best that we have.
No, that's a really good point that you made. It's like, you don't stop learning. You keep growing in the relationship, and as well for yourself, as well for your partner. And not only that, it's actually communicate clearly what's your intentions are. So there's no hidden agenda, which is really important as a business entrepreneur, and as well a working partner in the household. And not only you guys are sharing powers, but you guys are doing it one at a time. So both of you guys are not clashing.
Correct. Yeah, I love the word, like, sharing power. That's exactly it. There's no, at the end of the day, I always paint this picture in my mind, like, there's no right or wrong. Yeah. Imagine if you are, I sometimes, I don't know if I'm the only guy that envision this, but I would envision myself, what if I am 75 years or 80 years old? I am lying in the hospital on my bed, the last few moments of my life. Now, who do I want to be there? Of course, you want your spouse to be there. And if that's the case, whatever conflict, whatever stuff, does it matter who's right, who's wrong? And that argument, all that disappears. You only have a few moments left with the person that you love, with you holding your hands. You're like a last dying breath. You think, I picture that in my mind. Who cares about this conflict? Who cares about? Oh, I want the sofa to be this color. It's not important. What's important is who's right in front of you, right? So I have that picture in my mind. So whatever things, it's not that important.
It's very true. It's like you were saying, do you want to be happy or do you want to be right?
Yeah.
And that's your dying wish.
Yeah, it's happy. Choose happy. Commit to happiness no matter what. Forget about right. It doesn't matter.
I want to thank you so much for coming on my show. If people want to learn a little bit more about you, how can they find you?
That's just www.danlockdnlok.com. Yeah, but you go there, you don't see any relationship things, and just go to Cindy for that. But it's interesting conversation. It makes me reflect and kind of think about a lot of things. So
I want to definitely thank you so much for coming on my show and being open and honest about your relationship and seeing a different, people will see you in the different aspects for sure, person, and you are married and you run a business and you have a wife and you have a successful formula that you came up with and you got help and and having really open relationship with through communication with your partner. And I think a lot of men will learn that as an entrepreneur is just not only being scared of being rejected in the sense of feeling weak because you don't know something, but reaching out for professional help is really key. And it's the biggest takeaway from here, today's lesson as well. And not only allow to hide yourself behind the work that you do and invest your time with your partner and get to know them and keep tweaking as you go and don't ever stop tweaking. It's part of the process of investing in your partnership, and share power is really, really key. Definitely, I want to let my audience know to learn more about my program. You can visit my website. It will be linked below. It's cindyvking.com. And if you want a consultation, please, there will be a link below. And you want to sign up for a newsletter, I have that as linked below as well. And I will talk to you later. And thank you so much again for Dan Lok. And if you found this video helpful, please share it with your friends because sharing is caring. There is 3 things that you can do right now. You can subscribe to my newsletter, see the link below. When you're at there, go ahead, hit the like button, and remember to subscribe because I post news, social media, and video every week. If you have an idea for a video, please leave it in the comment section below. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye now.